Well, hello. Hey, this is Chad. Hey, coming at you with another of the in-depth series. This one is on snapshots. Woo! Snapshots. Yeah. Okay. So, there's a couple things to think about when you're getting ready for snapshots. One, all of the tones that I make, and probably I think Glenn, what we're doing with the snapshots is we're making sure that in the globals, under the foot switches, option 2 is set to stomp, snap, and option 3 there is set to 10 switches. This gives you the best of both worlds. It allows you to press this button and go between the two modes. And when you're in this mode, you can bank up and bank down, and down here will be your preset locations. So that's the best way I've seen to do it. So, two, when you're going to deal with snapshots, here's one of the best ways to go about creating a preset from scratch. So what I do is I go over and let's just say I'm definitely gonna have an amp in here, right? And when you're thinking about building snapshots, you want to make sure that when you build these snapshots, you start with snapshot 1 and you work your way up through the snapshots. And maybe it'd be good to have a plan. Write down a plan. You want snapshot 1 to be clean. You want snapshot 2 to be crunch. What are you going to add variax components to it? Then you want to think those out in advance. So you probably want to put all of the elements as best you can in first. So I like to start with an amp and a cab. So let's go ahead and go with Matchstick 2. All right. And then oftentimes I'm going to have a compressor up front. Okay. Yeah, right here. Maybe we're going to throw a wah on this one. All right, so we go, and let's put a wah, mono. Let's put a weeper in here, and we'll turn it off. And it's good to set these as off or on before you move to the next snapshot. Another thing to consider, and I'm going to switch screens right now, is when you highlight these, you want to make as many of these right here. You want to make as many of those snapshot enabled so that each patch you can make a little adjustment, or each snapshot you can make a little adjustment. Along with, maybe you want to put your drive in here, and you want your distortion. Say you want your distortion to be able to have a snapshot enabled there. And let's see, what else? Just thinking it out. Maybe you're gonna want your gate to make adjustments, so you could add those to your snapshot controller. But let me show you a quick way to enable in a very fast order. Here's the slow way. You can hit controller assign, and you can choose the parameter, and then you can go here and scroll all the way down and hit snapshots. Right now, what that does, take note, is you see there's a little bracket. There's a little bracket right around there, right? Well, there's a quicker way to do it. And what you do, and we're going to switch to the big camera view right now. What you want to do is you literally reach over and you push in and turn at the same time, and then you tap it and it'll retain the same value that it once was. So you push in and turn, push in and turn and tap, push in and turn and tap, push in and turn and tap. So those are all snapshot enabled. Page over, and then let's say we would want on the speaker cab, we might want to change the distance. So we push in and turn and tap, push in, and then you might want to change the early reflections on a snapshot basis. Voila, you have just in a quick order set those all. We're switching camera view again, and you'll notice I'm going to save this preset right now. I'm going to save the preset. Okay, so you'll notice that the snapshots have all been enabled very quickly. Okay, so now we're gonna make this a clean. We're gonna turn this into a clean amp model. All right. So what you do is you literally hold down your mouse and you type in what it is, and you hit enter. It puts it there. And at that point, I hit save again. Another thing to consider, and it's in the preferences of the globals, is you want to set your recall mode, your snapshot to discard. And it's important because then you want to make sure you save it each time before you move on to the next one. The reason you want to do that is you want to make sure that, say you have a snapshot that's set to clean, but you actually use a pedal to engage the drive, and then you go to a different setting like a ethereal setting, and then you go back to the clean. If it's in recall mode, it will come back, and that engaged stomp will be part of it until you change patches. So putting it in discard mode is every time you change a snapshot, the old the defaulted saved snapshot will come back again when you go back to it. So we're on clean, and then what we want to do is, obviously we don't need a drive if we're going clean, or we do need a drive. Let's drop the gain all the way down, and we can turn this in to let's hit bypass assign, and we're going to assign it to foot switch 2, and we're going to say boost. All right, so now that's a boost pedal. We can leave it off and just use it as a clean boost because we have set it as a clean, basic clean boost. Maybe we'll add a little bit of this. Oh, oops, I forgot to enable these. So you reach over, twist and hit, twist and hit, twist and hit, and now those are all snapshot enabled. So we'll save it again. Now it recalls it. Now when we make our little adjustments, these will just be at the base value. All right, so now it's ready to boost. There it is. Let's go ahead and add a reverb to this. Say we want a reverb, stereo, plate, lower that down, lower the mix down just a little bit, and turn on trails. And then we want to make a bypass assign. We'll put this on we'll put this on foot switch 4. All right, and we'll just call this verb. Okay. And then, hey, let's go ahead for grins and add a delay, a stereo vintage digital. Let's lower the time just a little bit, raise the bit depth and the sample rate. Drop the mix a little bit and turn on that. Click that off, and we'll do a bypass assign to foot switch 3, and we're going to call it Vintage Digital's fine. Okay, we hit save. All right, so you can see this is your clean setting, and put the guitar on. Not very clean, is it? So what we have to do is we have to go into the amp, turn down the drive, clean it up, raise up the channel volume a bit, and then lower the master. Let's see, yeah. Now let's hear it. Okay, we save that. So now we've made a basic clean tone. Let's go to Snapshot 2. And you can see nothing's changed. So we're going to call this one Crunch. Spell it right. C-H. Too many CH's in there. All right, Crunch. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to raise the drive. Okay, so there's the drive. Now let's go ahead and engage this drive, and let's see what we got here. Now we can add a little bit of this for its boost. See how that sounds. Okay, so we have that. So we'll disengage that. Now we're on a crunch with a little bit of a boost. We'll save that. Now we want to go to Snapshot 3, and that matches, if you look, that matches Snapshot 2. So as you're building it up, it matches the previous snapshot. So now we'll highlight this and we'll turn this to dirt. Right? Very simple. Dirt. And this one, we're going to raise the gain up even more. Aha! Now I'm starting to hear a little hum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the gate, but I'm going to make this a snapshot enabled, and we're going to turn it up. You can see turning it up. So and then we'll turn that on. So we like that, but I'm noticing a little flubby. So now we want to fix a little of the flub here. And so let's go into the speaker cab. Let's go ahead and raise the low cut. Now this is not snapshot enabled. I think we can just raise the low cut there to about 100. That'll be fine. But now in this, say we want to change microphones on this, so let's enable the ribbon, the microphone, so that we can actually change it in this snapshot. Let's put this, let's get a little crunch, let's get a let's lower the inches, so we get a little more woofy to it. Okay. All right. There we go. So we got that. That's pretty nice. And we hit save. And then we'll go ahead and go to snapshot 4. And we're gonna make this one lead. And in lead, we're gonna engage that. And we will raise up the master just a little bit. Okay, and we'll save it. Now, one final step, so that instead of having your patches start on the lead, you'll switch it all the way back to clean. Okay, all the way back to clean. Now, you can save it like that, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to the output block, and we're going to turn that into a snapshot controller. And we're going to raise the clean level just a little bit. And we'll save it. That way, it should balance the different presets. We'll go ahead and go to 2. This is crunch. Yeah, so we go to clean. And we'll lower that a little bit. Just a little bit. Save it. 2 taps to save it. We can lower the third one down. So we're balancing the tones. We're balancing out the tones, and then we have lead. We have the lead one, which should be a little lower. And I will go ahead and lower the threshold a little bit to take out some of the noise from the extra aggressiveness. All right, save that and go back to clean and do a final save. All right, that's about it. Thanks for watching. This has been another in-depth episode. Have a great day.